This is our grammar assignment, sentences 9. And what we're going to do is go a little further in depth into action verbs and direct objects. Not every action verb is going to have a direct object. When an action verb does have a direct object, we call it a transitive verb because the action is being transferred from the subject to the direct object. And you can see trans in here as in transfer, transitive. Okay? The punter kicked the football. What did the punter kick? The football. So there's a direct object here making kicked a transitive action verb. However, an action verb doesn't have to have a direct object. When it doesn't, it's intransitive. IN meaning not transitive. Okay? Because the action is not being transferred to another person or object. The punter kicked hard. If you ask the question, the punter kicked what? Or what did the punter kick? There is no answer. There's no direct object. Hard tells us how the punter kicked, not what the punter kicked. So kicked is considered an intransitive action verb. The adverb telling us how and not what. Action verbs can be followed by three things. They can be followed by a direct object, an adverb, or a prepositional phrase. A direct object is always a noun or pronoun, the pronoun taking the place of a noun. An adverb is never a direct object, such as hard up here. And when an action verb is followed by a prepositional phrase, the noun that is the object of the preposition is never also the direct object. That's why we cross them off if we're looking for direct objects. So some examples. Tim left his room. Tim left what? The answer is room. So room is a direct object. Left being the verb, Tim being the subject. And that makes left a transitive verb here because it has a direct object. Tim left happily. Happily tells us how he left, not what he left or where. And so happily is an adverb. So left in this sentence is an intransitive verb. Tim left in the morning. In the morning is a prepositional phrase which tells us when he left. Again, it's not saying what or where he left, but a prepositional phrase telling us when. So again, left in this sentence is an intransitive verb. And if we were looking for direct objects, we would cross off this prepositional phrase, realize there's no direct object, and realize it's an intransitive action verb. Tim left his room happily in the morning. In this case, I've combined them all together. We do have a direct object. Tim left what? Left his room. We added in happily and in the morning for even more information, but because there's a direct object, in this case, again, it's a transitive verb. So it's very simple. When there's a direct object, you have a transitive action verb. When there's no direct object and it's an action verb, it's an intransitive action verb. This only applies to action verbs. So, one sentence with one subject and one verb. You have to have something after your verb. I don't care if it's a direct object. I don't care if it's an adverb. I don't care if it's a prepositional phrase. Make sure the verb you use is an action verb. You must then identify for me what your verb is, and you must tell me whether or not it's a transitive or an intransitive verb. Okay?